Hello. Hello, chat. Hello, today. Let's head over to here. Oh my god! It's a camera. It's real life footage, I believe. Okay, you can kind of see me, but I don't think you can, like, see me, see me. Oh, there's a cat. uh, you definitely can't see the screen all that well over here. Oh well. It's fine, it's fine. Hello, it's my hand. Been a while since you've seen this, huh? But yes, hello and welcome to Safari Week. Now, let's see. Quick explanation of what Safari Week is, for those who may not be aware, is it's an event where for an entire week, Pokemon Shiny Hunters shiny hunts in the Safari Zone. Now, that's not, like, too unique by itself, but the thing that makes the Safari Zone special is that Pokemon can run away from you. So there's an added layer of risk and suspense when you go in. And you'll see at the top of my screen what my targets are for these games. So for Fire Red over here, hello, I have a pencil. I'm going for the Dratini line, either Dratini or Dragonair, with the Super Rod. Pretty much the rarest encounter in there. And here, at Platinum, I'm going to be going for the daily Pokemon, but also I'll be surfing for Wooper and Quagsire, if I don't like the daily Pokemon. And over here in this pixelated mess is Soul Silver, and in Soul Silver, these are my main three targets up here. It's going to be Sentret, Furret, and Kangaskhan. Now, the thing about Kangaskhan is that it's a day-only target, so I'm actually going to go ahead and remove it from the lineup for now, since I won't be able to hunt for it. But I have, like, physical notes right here that you guys can't see that shows me where I can actually hunt for Sentret all day long, and where it is in the Safari Zone here, because the Safari Zone in Soul Silver is very, very robust. Now, so that there isn't just a lot of dead air on the stream, I actually have some videos lined up for today. Well, two at least. Basically, it's going to be one explaining the Safari Zone. Yeah, Safari Zone and why you should hunt there by canned wolf meat. I think this is going to give me an explanation of all the different rules of the Safari Zone, and also what the best strategies for each generation is. Because the Safari Zone in each generation is actually different and works differently. So it's important to know going in what sort of strategy you should have. Like, I don't have any whole win Safari Zone games, but the Pokeblock system there I know is very complicated. Or maybe not very, but it's a bit complex. More complex than the others. But yes, we're going to be watching that. And after that, we'll be watching a video of someone's hunts from last year. And maybe even more after that. And, well, I'll tell you more about it when we get to it. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and, get this started.
Pokemon is a game series that holds a surprising amount of replay value. While the game intends for you to simply play it once and then do post-game content like Battle Towers and completing the Pokédex, there are many who instead replay these games with self-imposed limitations, such as Nuzlocke runs, monotype teams, or attempting the Professor Oak challenge. Some people instead choose to shiny hunt, doing thousands of resets for the target they want, and in some cases there are people who combine both. While there are often many different ways of getting a shiny, some will decide to attempt the hunt with a specific method instead of going for what would be easiest, either because there's some tangible benefit for obtaining a Pokemon in that method, like a ribbon or a special Pokeball, or simply because they want the bragging rights of getting a very difficult or rare target. And in my opinion, there is one method of hunting that is arguably the most punishing of all, as not only do you compete with the usual random chance of finding a shiny, but that shiny also has a chance of simply running away before you can even catch it. Welcome to Safari Week, a community shiny hunting event where the only rule is you have to hunt in the Safari Zone. And in this video, I'll be going over some of the complex mechanics for the Safari Zone and how to best prepare for this year's Safari Week. First introduced in Red and Blue, the Safari Zone operates on an entirely different catching mechanic than the rest of the game. Instead of battling wild Pokemon to weaken them before catching, you instead have to go into the wild entirely on your own. Wild Pokemon here won't attack you, but instead they have a chance of simply running away at the end of every turn and ending the encounter. You also don't have the option of using your own Pokeballs either, meaning you can't just launch a Master Ball if you see a shiny. Instead, you are given 30 Safari Balls as part of your entrance fee, which have the same catch rate as a Great Ball. This makes catching Pokemon a lot harder than normal, as you can't use moves like False Swipe, Mean Look, or Hypnosis to increase your chances, and the odds of catching a full health Pokemon in a Great Ball are less than great, especially on rarer Pokemon like Chansey. But the Safari Zone is also the only place where Tauros, Kangaskhan and Rhyhorn can be found in both Generation 1 and their GBA remakes, so venturing here is mandatory in order to complete the Pokédex. You do get a couple of tools for improving your chances though, food and rocks. Throwing bait will reduce the chance of them fleeing, but also reduce the chance of capturing, whereas throwing rocks has the opposite effect, making them much more likely to run, but also more likely to stay in the ball. The Safari Zone was closed in Gold, Silver and Crystal, but a new Safari Zone was added in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, as well as there being a Safari Zone in Hoenn, and an equivalent area in Sinnoh called the Great Marsh. The Hoenn Safari Zone also appears in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but it doesn't use the Safari mechanics, and wild Pokemon here are battled normally. Each of these Safari Zones have their own unique quirks, encounters and mechanics, each of which I'll be going over in their own segments, as well as covering some general tips and tools that can help you understand and increase the odds of finding and catching your preferred target. While shiny Pokemon didn't technically exist in Generation 1, you can still shiny hunt here, although you'll only be able to do it by fishing. In Generation 2, shiny Pokemon are determined by the internal stats of the Pokemon, and due to how wild encounters are generated, only gifted Pokemon and fishing encounters in Generation 1 have a chance to be shiny when moved into a later generation. Fortunately, you can fish in the Safari Zone, so it's possible to encounter aquatic Pokemon like Magikarp, Krabby, Slowpoke and even Dratini. But since you can't check a Pokemon's stats until you catch it, you'll simply have to catch every Pokemon you find and either check their stats manually or transfer them into Generation 2 or Pokemon Bank in order to see if you caught a shiny. If you're playing on original hardware, you could also connect to Pokemon Stadium 2 and play the game at a faster speed, while also being able to check shinies by looking at your boxes in the lab. As for catching, the best strategy in Generation 1 is simply just throwing Safari Balls at everything you see. Using rocks to double your catch rate does sound like a good idea when faced with hard to catch Pokemon like Dragonair, but throwing a rock or a bait uses up your turn, and after that the Pokemon gets a chance to react, and an angry Dragonair has a more than 50% chance of simply running away. Meanwhile, throwing bait will make it 4 times less likely to run, but also much less likely to capture, and if you run out of your 30 Safari Balls, the Safari game is over and you can't continue the battle. For this reason, it's a good idea to always have the maximum amount of Safari Balls at all times, as Pokemon with a low chance of running can still escape if you don't have enough balls to catch them. There's a Gen 1 Safari Zone catch rate calculator on Cave of Dragonflies that will tell you the best method for the Pokemon you're encountering, although in almost all cases the best answer is just throwing Safari Balls. And if you want to calculate for shinies without trading or transferring them, there's a handy Gen 1 shiny calculator on Blue Moon Falls, both of which I'll link in the description. All of the fishing targets, as well as all the other Safari Zone Pokemon, can also be hunted in Fire Red and Leaf Green. This updated version of the Safari Zone uses a slightly different calculation for whether Pokemon stay or flee, and bait is now a much more viable strategy for ensuring a catch. Each Pokemon has a catch factor which is equivalent to its usual catch rate divided by 12.75, ranging from 20 to 2. Each rock throw will double the catch factor and each bait will halve it. Meanwhile, an angry Pokemon has double the chance of escape, and a Pokemon that is eating has a quarter of a chance, which doesn't increase with additional rocks or bait. These catch modifiers do have a limit. Using rocks can't increase the catch factor above 20, so throwing rocks at Magikarp and Poliwag, which already have a catch factor of 20, will have no effect other than increasing the chance of them running away. The most interesting part, however, is that using bait cannot reduce the catch factor lower than 3. Kangaskhan, Scyther, Pinsir, Tauros, Dratini and Dragonair already have a base catch factor of 3, meaning that using bait will not make them any harder to catch, but will still reduce the chance of escaping, which in the case of these Pokemon is normally between 35 and 45% per turn. And in the case of Chansey, which normally has a catch factor of 2, using bait actually increases the chance of catching one. As using bait cannot reduce the catch factor lower than 3, the game will adjust the catch factor back to 3 if bait ever causes it to fall below that value. And since using bait on Chansey would reduce its catch factor to 1, it then gets automatically increased to 3, despite that being higher than Chansey's usual catch rate. My friend Professor Rex has done a lot of work researching the effectiveness of bait and how to maximize your chance of catching Pokemon in the Safari Zone, and has made a very comprehensive lookup table for all of the encounters in this Safari Zone, and what combination of bait and balls gives you the best chance of catching your target. With all of this taken into account, your best chance of catching a Chansey in the Safari Zone is a massive 19%. And that's not your chance of catching it per ball, that's your chance of catching it with all 30 Safari balls. Even if you do everything right, there's still an 81% chance the Chansey will either run away or you run out of Safari balls before it stays in. Add on top of that the 4% chance of finding a Chansey in the first place, and the 1 in 8,192 odds of it being a shiny, and you can see why hunting in the Safari Zone is considered a challenge. There are still plenty of other Pokemon to find in the various Safari Zones, many of which are much easier to catch. But you're in for a very long haul if you set your sights on one of the rarer spawns, as many of them are just as difficult to capture. Using the best available methods, it would take you an average of 472,000 encounters to find and catch a shiny Pinsir or Scyther, and over 800,000 to catch a shiny Chansey. Meanwhile, Dragonair's 1% encounter rate means it would take over 4 million encounters on average to catch a shiny using the most optimal method, and to my knowledge, this shiny has actually never been caught before, making it the true white whale of the Kanto Safari Zone, and even just seeing one is an achievement worth celebrating. Moving into Hoenn, there are actually two separate versions of this Safari Zone. While mostly identical, the Emerald Safari Zone includes 2 additional areas that open up after you beat the Elite Four, containing several Pokemon from the Johto region like Miltank, Houndour and Mareep that were otherwise unobtainable in Generation 3, except through the Colosseum games or in-person distributions. In this Safari Zone, you have 2 different options for engaging with Pokemon. Throwing rocks has been replaced with going nearer, which will increase the catch and escape factor by 4. Moving closer additional times will increase the escape factor further, but the increase to catch chance will be reduced by 1 each time, giving you diminishing returns on your chance of catching versus the chance of the Pokemon escaping. To reduce the chance of escaping, you now throw your own Pokeblocks instead of having an unlimited supply of bait. Throwing Pokeblocks also has no effect on the catch factor, but its effect on reducing the escape factor is based on the nature of the target. A Pokemon's nature will affect the flavours it likes and dislikes, and a Pokeblock of its preferred flavour will reduce the escape factor more. Calculating the chance of your target fleeing is also much simpler in the Hoenn Safari Zone, as all Pokemon share an identical chance of escape. Every encounter starts with an escape factor of 3, and the chance of fleeing translates very simply into increments of 5%. An escape factor of 3 means every Pokemon has a 15% chance of fleeing each turn, and each time you go nearer will increase that chance by 20%. And while making Pokeblocks is a hassle, they are actually incredibly worthwhile, and can even ensure that a Pokemon never attempts to run from the battle. Logically, the escape factor is never meant to be lower than 1. Just like using bait in the Safari Zone in Fire Red and Leaf Green, this would translate to a minimum 5% chance of a Pokemon fleeing on every turn. But just like how bait interacts with Chansey, this mechanic isn't implemented correctly. Instead of the escape factor being a minimum of 1, the game will adjust the value to 1 if it falls below 0, and once the escape factor is set to 1, it can no longer be reduced any further by Pokeblocks. However, this adjustment only happens if the escape factor falls below 0, meaning that if you can reduce the factor to exactly 0, it won't be corrected to 1, and now the target has a 0% chance of fleeing for the rest of the battle, so long as you don't do anything else to modify the escape factor. Since the escape factor starts at 3 for all Pokemon, we actually want to throw a Pokeblock of a neutral flavour, as that will reduce it exactly to 0, allowing you to throw all 30 of your Safari balls to attempt catching it. With the lowest catch rate in the Hoenn Safari Zone being 8.09% for Dodrio, Pinsir, Aipom, Wobbuffet, Heracross, Stantler and Miltank, that would give us a roughly 92% chance of catching them if you bring all 30 Safari balls, and an over 98% chance to catch anything else. Although the actual odds are a little bit lower than this, because the escape factor is only modified at the end of each turn, after the Pokemon decides if it will run away. So even if you do successfully feed it a neutral Pokeblock, there is still a 15% chance for the Pokemon escaping on the first turn. Of course, in order to reliably feed a neutral Pokeblock to a Pokemon, you have to know what nature it is, otherwise you might accidentally feed a positive Pokeblock and lock its escape factor to 1. Alternatively, throwing a Pokeblock that it hates will be ignored, but each additional Pokeblock that you use in an encounter has a different modifier to the escape factor, meaning that if the first Pokeblock is ignored, you'll want to throw a Pokeblock with a preferred flavour on the second turn to set the escape factor to 0. Luckily for us, there is a way of influencing the nature of wild Pokemon in the Safari Zone. Placing Pokeblocks in the feeders scattered around in the grass will have an 80% chance of changing a Pokemon's nature to be one that prefers the flavour of that Pokeblock for the next 100 steps. So for example, using a spicy Pokeblock will cause Pokemon with attack increasing natures like Adamant and Brave to be more common, and a sweet Pokeblock will attract speed increasing natures like Timid and Hasty. Generation 3 has a reputation for bad randomization code, however, and the process used for generating these natures means some of them are much more likely to appear than others. Although this works in our favour, as it means we have a much higher chance of accurately feeding the right Pokeblocks to our target Pokemon, provided its nature has been influenced by the Pokeblock feeder. Once again, a lot of this information is from research done by Professor Rex, and thanks to him we know the most optimal Pokeblocks to use against wild Pokemon to have the best chance of preventing their escape. Before moving on to the next Safari Zone, I think it's worth mentioning that while Pokemon in your party can't be used in battle, the Pokemon you bring with you aren't entirely useless. If you want to increase the frequency of encounters, you can have a Pokemon with the ability Illuminate in the front of your party, which will double the chance of encountering a Pokemon. Starting in Pokemon Emerald, several other abilities were also given bonus effects outside of battle, most of which interact with the wild Pokemon you encounter. Arena Trap and No Guard will also double the chance of you encountering a wild Pokemon, while inversely the abilities White Smoke, Quick Feet, Stench and Infiltrator will halve the chance. Sticky Hold and Suction Cups will also increase the chance of an encounter while fishing, and Static will increase the chance of encountering an electric type if it's possible to find one in that area. Magnet Pull has the same effect for steel types, although there aren't any that can be found in the Hoenn, Kanto or Sinnoh Safari areas. Lastly, a Pokemon with Synchronize will have a 50% chance of changing a wild Pokemon's nature to match its own. You can use this in conjunction with the Pokeblock feeders, as if the Pokeblock feeder fails to modify the nature of a wild Pokemon, Synchronize will still have a 50% chance of activating, giving you a roughly 91% chance of seeing a wild Pokemon with the right nature. I would recommend leading with Illuminate, No Guard or Arena Trap, as seeing encounters more frequently is the best way to increase your chance of finding a shiny during Safari Week. You could also use the White Flute, which will increase your encounter chance by an extra 50% when used. The White Flute can be made on Route 113 in Hoenn, or obtained as a gift at Vala Lakefront in Platinum. These two effects can be stacked to make encounters 2.25 times more likely. The level of your leading Pokemon can also greatly help you, thanks to the effect of Repels. Repel is a great tool for avoiding wild encounters when you don't want them, but the way it works is by blocking encounters with wild Pokemon that are of a lower level than the Pokemon at the front of your party. If you know the level range for the Pokemon in a certain area, you can use your lead Pokemon to only filter out lower level encounters than your target, and increase the chance of finding the one that you actually want. In Area 1 of the Kanto Safari Zone, Kangaskhan has only a 4% encounter rate. However, by having a level 25 Pokemon as your lead and using a Repel, you can filter out half of the available encounters by removing the 15% chance of Paras, the 25% chance of encountering Nidoran, and the roughly 10% chance of seeing an Execute below level 25. This effectively doubles the chance of encountering the remaining Pokemon, giving you an 8% chance of finding Kangaskhan. If you instead use a level 27 Pokemon, you can filter out 90% of the encounters, turning the 1% Pinsir or Scyther encounter into a 9% chance, which is actually better than if you use this trick in the area where their encounter is normally 4%, as Pinsir and Scyther appear at a lower level in that area, and will only appear 6% of the time when using Repel effectively. You can use Bulbapedia and Cerebi to find out the level ranges for all the wild Pokemon in each area, but there's also a tool that can be used to calculate the encounter rates using the Repel trick, which will also be linked in the description. Another limiting factor of the Safari Zone that I haven't mentioned yet is the step counter. Your time in the Safari Zone will end if you run out of balls, but it also ends after you take a certain number of steps. 500 in Hoenn and Sinnoh, and 600 in Fire Red and Leaf Green. This can be a hassle during a long hunt like Safari Week, as you'll have to navigate your way back to where you were hunting after being returned to the entrance. And while the admission fee for the Safari Zone is small, you could be at risk of running out of money if you need to keep repeatedly re-entering. This isn't a problem for fishing encounters, as you don't need to move to keep casting your rod, and you can also encounter wild Pokemon without moving by using Sweet Scent or carefully rotating in place. The easiest method to avoid walking is in Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald though, as by using the Acro Bike, holding down B and hopping in place will allow you to keep encountering Pokemon without moving, which also removes the need to keep refreshing the Pokeblock feeder or your active Repel. Lastly, I would also recommend saving at the entrance of the Safari Zone and only saving if you find a shiny, just so you don't run the risk of losing all your money or Repels and being unable to get back in. In Sinnoh, the Safari Zone is replaced by the Great Marsh, but the Great Marsh is effectively the Safari Zone in all but name, even returning to the bait and rock system used in Kanto, although this time beating Pokemon over the head with rocks has been phased out, in favour of the less violent option of throwing mud. The effect of these options is actually the opposite of what you might expect though. Pokemon in the Great Marsh apparently love mud, and throwing it at them will decrease the chance of escaping, with a 90% chance of also decreasing the catch rate, whereas throwing food will instead increase the chance of catching them, but also might increase the chance of them running away. But since there are no weird calculation errors to exploit this time, your best option is to simply throw Safari Balls and ignore the mud and bait entirely. There is actually one error in regard to flee rate, but it only affects Whiscash, which doesn't have a flee rate coded into the game, meaning you will only run away 0.4% of the time. The main gimmick of the Great Marsh is that some Pokemon are not always available. The Great Marsh is split into 6 areas, and each area will have one of its encounters picked randomly from a small pool, with this selection having a 10% chance of being encountered and will change every day at midnight. While you could run around in the marsh to check all the available Pokemon, you can also use the binoculars on the upper floor of the entrance building, and for $100 you'll be shown a random selection of Pokemon that can be encountered at the marsh. If you want to re-roll these encounters, you can do so by adjusting your DS's clock to just before midnight and then allowing it to roll over to the next day. Attempting this in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, however, won't work, as timer-based events will be frozen for 24 hours whenever the clock is changed. As well as having a graphical update, the Great Marsh in Platinum has slightly different level and encounter rates than the Marsh in Diamond and Pearl, as well as having a few exclusive Pokemon like Tropius and Kecleon. So make sure you're looking at the right information if you're trying to use the repel trick or figure out the best place to look for a specific target. And while mostly identical to their Generation 4 counterpart, the Great Marsh in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is going to be statistically the best Safari Zone for seeing a shiny, as it is the only game with the Safari Zone released after Generation 6, where the base shiny chance was doubled. Your Pokédex completion will also help you with catching a shiny before it runs away, as the chance of getting a critical capture increases the more your dex is filled, and having more than 450 registered Pokemon will give you the best odds possible. The only target available in Diamond and Pearl that doesn't appear in the remakes is Arbok, as it only appears in the Great Marsh when Fire Red is plugged into the dual slot on the DS. Overall, the diversity of encounters in the Great Marsh isn't that amazing though. If you like water, poison and grass types, then it's perfect, but if you want a lot more variety and control over the Pokemon you can encounter, then this last Safari Zone might be just what you're looking for. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the Warden has opened up a brand new Safari Zone on the west coast of Johto that was not present in the original Generation 2 games. This Safari Zone operates on the same catching and fleeing mechanics as the Great Marsh, but the major difference is in how many Pokemon can be found here. While the physical size of this Safari Zone is very small, there are over 150 Pokemon that can be caught here if you know how to find them. The gimmick of this Safari Zone is that you are given the freedom to rearrange its 6 areas as you see fit, as well as swap them out between 12 different environments, each of which contains its own unique variety of Pokemon. In order to fully unlock the Safari Zone's potential, you will have to wait a little while. When first arriving, you're tasked with catching a Geodude and showing it to the Warden. 3 hours later, he'll call you with a second challenge, introducing you to the area customizer and showing you how to customize the Safari Zone by adding in a desert so you can catch a Sandshrew. After you beat the game and get the National Pokédex, the Warden will call you once again and introduce you to the next feature of the Safari Zone. You can now place decorations such as trees, flowers and benches in each of the areas. To begin with, you're only given 6 items, but every 3 in-game hours you'll be given 6 more decorations to choose from, with 24 to be unlocked in total. Half of these decorations are purely decorative, but the other 12 have a direct, tangible benefit, and these decorations are the key to unlocking new and rare encounters. These 12 decorations can be split into groups of 3. The shrubbery and flowers are plains decorations, the tree, stump and branches are...
Hello everyone, hello, welcome to stream today. I am Nozomi Lapine, I am shiny hunting. I am shiny hunting in the Safari Zone today, because it is Safari Week. An event where for a full week, Pokemon hunters will go to the Safari Zone and shiny hunts. And then, because this is Safari Zone, the Pokemon have a chance of running away. So even if you find your shiny, you're not guaranteed to catch it. Thank you, Blueberry, for the raid. Thank you. How was stream today? What'd you do? Oh yeah. It seems that my shoutout bot isn't working. Let me see if I can do that. Like, ever since I became affiliate, a lot of my bots and whatever haven't been working. But let's see. Shoutouts. Nope. Okay. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to fix that. But yes, how was stream? What were you doing today? Oh, Guilty as Sock. I've seen that game. Have no idea what it's about though, or how you play it. Was it fun? Chaos? Ah, nice. Like, what sort of brand of chaos are we talking? Also, sorry for the video quality for this one over here. It's far away from the camera, so you can barely see what's going on there. But people will know if there's a shiny because I will react. The funny kind of chaos. I may have to go check out your VOD once I'm done streaming. May have to go check that out so that I can get a better idea of what's going on with it. But yes, I'm going to be shiny hunting for the next week or so. Like, at least one stream a day. I'm glad you had fun, Blueberry, and thank you for raiding with me today. Like, this is much later than like what I usually stream, so I was kind of worried that no one would be here. So I'm happy to have gotten the raid from you. Yippee! Yes, thank you. Alright, time to start playing the video again. I'm watching a video explaining the rules of the different Safari zones and how they work, because in different generations they work in different ways. Also, up here are my targets for the different games. Fire Red, I'm going for Shiny Dratini or Dragonair. In Platinum, I'm going for Wooper or Quagsire. And over here in Soul Silver, I'm going for either a Sentret, Furret, and on days where I'm streaming during the day, I'm going to be going for Kangaskhan. But since it's night right now, I'm going for Sentret mostly. But yeah, hello, yes, this is also my first time streaming with my hands on the screen for the first time in a long time. So it's definitely interesting. I've been trying to like stay out of the reflective surfaces. Topi! Hey, Topi! Welcome to stream, Topi. How was your day? I know it's much later than what I usually stream. But I am here, and you are here. Yippee! Alright, let's get encounters. And then I'll start playing that video again, since I was explaining. Was certainly your day? How was my day? My day was alright. I went to work today, and it was pretty busy. Very busy. Yes, nose on me hands. You get to see my hands. Yeah, no worries, Blueberry. No worries. It's pretty late. Have a good sleep, Blueberry. Thank you for the raid again. May you nibble? I kind of need my hands to shiny hands. But, you know, maybe you could hold my other hand. Alright. And, let's see. Yeah, this video I'm watching here is explaining all the different ways that the Safari zones in different generations work. Basically just, I'm going over this so that I can understand how each one works and what the best strategy for shiny hunting is.
Are forest decorations, the rocks are peak decorations, and the puddle, fountain, and waterhole are waterside decorations. Each area has 10 to 11 Pokemon that will only appear after a certain amount of decorations of a certain type are placed inside that area. For example, Zigzagoon will appear in the savannah once 10 plains objects are placed there, and Luxio will appear with 24 plains objects. Adding more objects than necessary or adding objects of a different type won't stop an encounter from appearing. So by adding 24 plains objects, you'll be seeing both Luxio and Zigzagoon in the savannah. And you can also add 4 forest objects to see Houndour as well. If you want to see Shroomish, you need to have 35 forest objects and 12 plains objects. However, this is easier said than done, because you can only place a maximum of 30 objects in each area. This is where the real waiting begins. Waiting 3 hours at a time to unlock all the decorations was merely the setup, as now you need to wait multiple days for each area to upgrade. After an area has been active in the Safari Zone for 10 days, the effect of plains items there will be doubled. Then after 20 days, the effect of forest items are doubled, meaning you can now encounter Shroomish with only 6 plains objects and 18 forest objects. The effect of peak items is upgraded after 30 days, and waterside after 40 days. Then the process repeats again, with plains items becoming 3 times as powerful after 50 days, then forest items after 60 days, and so on, with the effect of the next decoration type becoming more powerful every 10 to 20 days, before all decorations reach a multiplier of 7 after 250 days. These days cannot just be skipped by turning the clock forward either. It seems the upgrade process only advances on days where you actively play the game, instead of simply checking how many days it has been since each area was added into the Safari Zone. And while there are no Pokemon that require the full wait of 250 days to be encountered, you do need to wait almost 4 months before you can encounter everything in certain areas. Bronzong and Bagon both require the equivalent of 56 peak decorations and 35 forest decorations in their respective areas, which can only be done after a minimum of 110 days, and many of the rarer Pokemon require a minimum of 70 to 100 days to be unlocked. Of course, there's also an interesting workaround that allows you to skip the wait time by removing your DS battery and letting the clock overflow by 100 years, and I'll include a link to a great guide by Reali that taught me how to do this last year. With the right placement of decorations, the repel trick, and using various abilities, you can give yourself very good odds of encountering a variety of rare and interesting Pokemon, like Aron, Gible, Torkoal, and even Riolu, which can't be caught anywhere else in Generation 4. This Safari Zone also uses Bait and Mud, although the effects of these have now been switched back to their correct functions. But just like with the Great Marsh, throwing Safari Balls is the optimal strategy for catching, as the effects of Bait and Mud aren't statistically worthwhile, although there is an exception. While Dragonair is the white whale of the Kanto Safari Zone, Beldum and Metang are the equivalent for Johto. Thanks to the use of repels, you can encounter Beldum 100% of the time in the forest, and Metang 50% of the time in the mountain, or 85% if you also use a Pokemon with Magnet Pull, meaning seeing a shiny is much easier than Dragonair's 1% encounter rate. But the real challenge is actually catching one of these two. Beldum, Metang, and Metagross have the lowest catch rate possible of any Pokemon. The chance of capturing one is on par with legendaries like Mewtwo and Calyrex, and they are the only non-legendary or mythical Pokemon to have a catch rate this difficult. For reference, a sleeping Beldum on 1 hit point has only a 4% chance of being caught in an Ultra Ball, and after 31 turns, a Timer Ball would only have a maximum catch rate of 9%. And in the Safari Zone, you have no modifiers like status conditions or low health to improve your odds with. You have to catch this Pokemon at full HP with what is functionally a Great Ball. In order to have a roughly 50% chance of catching it, you would have to throw over 150 Safari Balls. And don't forget that you only have 30, not to mention the chance of Beldum escaping every turn, which is 35%. And while Magnet Pull will increase the chance of encountering Beldum, it won't stop it from running away. The odds of catching a Beldum are massively stacked against you. To be precise, the overall chance of failure is over 98%, as the odds of catching Beldum by throwing all your Safari Balls at it is only 1.16%. Attempting to catch Metang is slightly more forgiving, as its flee rate is only 24%, giving you a 1.7% chance of catching it before it runs away or you run out of balls. In this case, there is actually a method of improving your odds slightly, devised once again by our friend Professor Rex. While Bait has a chance to reduce the catch rate, the rate for Beldum and Metang is already as low as it can be, so by throwing 6 Bait in a row, you can minimise the flee rate and potentially maximise the amount of balls you can throw at it. After setting Bait, the chance of Metang escaping each turn is now only 6.25%. And your chance of successfully capturing it has increased by 0.65%. In any other situation, that amount will be negligible. But if you want to actually catch a Metang, you'll want to take every statistical advantage that you can, even if it means taking the 57% chance of it running away during the baiting process. With a total catching chance of 2.37% per encounter, you would need to find over 40 shiny Metang to be at odds of actually catching one, and the Shiny Hunter Lucky Sparkles ended up doing exactly that, encountering more than 60 shiny Metang and 12 shiny Lunatones before finally catching one. Or you could be like me and just so happen to catch one first try, but hey, that's statistics for you. Oh my god! In the comments of my last shiny video, I saw a lot of people saying that the ease of finding shinies in recent generations, especially in Generation 9, has taken some of the thrill and excitement out of actually finding one, and in some cases I can agree. There have been many times where I've stumbled on multiple full-odd shinies in the same day while playing Pokemon Violet, and I've even reset over shinies when using Herba Mystica if they weren't my target, because I consider the herbs to be more valuable, and I know that it would be easy enough to find them again if I wanted. But the few shinies that I've seen during Safari Week were quite literally heart-pounding. Hunting a shiny only for it to run away sounds masochistic, but it's also exciting. While I wouldn't really consider myself much of a hardcore shiny hunter, I found myself taking part in the last 2 Safari Weeks, and I'm planning to give it another go this year to hopefully reclaim the Riolu I lost last time, and I might even try for a Dratini or the fabled Dragonair on the side. I also think this year's Safari Week might be quite important, as for all we know it could be the final Safari Week before Bank shuts down, meaning this would be the last chance to transfer forward anything that you catch. But when exactly is Safari Week? Some might say it's a bit early for a Safari Week video, as it's usually held around the start of June, but that just so happens to be around 110 days away, which means if you're watching this video close to when I uploaded it, you should be able to set up your Johto Safari Zone just in time to hunt for anything you want in this year's Safari Week. Once again, I'd like to thank Professor Rex for help with verifying the information in this video, and all the resources I've mentioned will be in the description.
They aren't gloves, but I could put your hands on my hands? Well, true, your hands could keep my hands warm. Okay, next video I'm gonna be watching after this is a video that someone posted out their Safari Week last year. Basically, they went on like they traveled to do safari hunting with a bunch of friends. And it's also the person that introduced me to Safari Week. It's Absol Blogs Pokemon. So yeah, this video is gonna be like 45 minutes long. Not too bad, not too bad. I've watched it before, but it's good to watch it again. You know, it's good to have something to entertain me, so it's not just dead air while streaming. Here we go. Oh, internet, what? Of course I'm connected to the internet. I'm live streaming right now. There we go. Let's watch me. Oh.
Safari Week
Unfortunately,
2024.
there is only one of me.
At this point, this is
So I can't
practically a
live
shiny
stream and
hunting
watch my
holiday
stream
that
at the same
happens
time.
every year,
Not
where
without
everyone
causing
hunts
a
in the
bit of a
Safari
headache.
Zone where the shiny Pokemon can flee. Because we're all stupid. This year, in Kanto, I'm on phase 30 for the elusive Chansey or Tauros. And Hoenn, I want a Phanpy. Because do I even need to explain myself? Just look at this little guy. Who doesn't want him?
Look at
And
that.
in
That
Johto,
is a very
I'm just
entertaining
hunting
little-
whatever based
little
off of
note there.
vibes.
So
For
squishy.
Sinnoh, though, I can't hunt there this year, unfortunately, in the Great Marsh because of today's video sponsor. Let's take it over to him before we start this compilation. Have you ever wanted to participate in Safari Week? You should come on down to today's video sponsor, the Hoenn Safari Zone, where you can find Oddish. My name is Calzone. I'm the owner of this zone. I sponsored today's video to help out the Hoenn Safari Zone, and totally not because my divorce was recently exposed with Ramona Marsh, owner of the Great Marsh. I did not sponsor this video
funny.
to tell you to not go to the Great Marsh. I'm just encouraging you not to go there. My goal today as today's video sponsor is to follow Matt around on his safari adventures and make absolutely sure he doesn't step into that wretched swamp. Let's follow him around and see what shinies
Sorry,
he finds.
Calzone.
I started
am
out doing a
hunting
little
in the marsh
pre-gaming on
this year.
Thursday before
You're
Safari
going
Week
to have to
actually
forgive
began,
me.
mostly sticking to Kanto. And while I didn't find any shinies, I found lots of new fan art from people about Calzone and his ex-wife Ramona Marsh, and perfectly timed horses. Fit check? Okay. Check out the back of my shirt. It's Entei. On day 2, June 22nd, I actually found my first shiny after a
get a
very
feed
long
reveal?
phase. Tell me why.
I think on my Twitter I did kind of do a feet reveal. Like, my feet were covered with socks.
Yeah, an MJ link
but,
will work
like,
last call, for
I
sure.
showed off some comfy pajamas that I got one day. It was like weeks ago, though, on my Twitter. So you'd have to scroll up a bit. You prefer hands? You have mentioned it
Shiny
several times
Execute!
before, so yes.
Shiny Execute!
I believe you on that
Yo!
one.
The first phase has happened! 21,708! First phase of Safari Week, Day 2, 6:39 p.m., June 22nd, 2024, at the
I wonder
exact
if I'll get
latitude
any
and
shots.
longitude of... I'm gonna zoom in on this somehow.
Oh snap, look at these
Y'all
hands.
aren't seeing this at all. Ball 1.
I mean, this is
2
like,
shakes.
your first time seeing
And
my
it's
hands
gone.
live, right?
Bye
Because they're in my
bye
VODs.
eggs. Bye bye eggs.
And you've
I'm
talked about
having
it in
an
my
eggs
VODs.
existential
But this is my
crisis.
first time
That
showing
is like
them
the
live to
millionth
you.
time I've had Execute flee
Because
from me.
this is actually a pretty good
It's
setup.
gone
Where I'm pretty
forever.
sure I'm not doxing
Day 2
myself.
of Safari Week.
Pretty sure I'm not
I can't
doxing
believe
myself.
it.
Trust.
I'm still getting oiled right now. Oh my gosh. Why am I getting oiled up in the Safari
Oh,
Zone?
that's a
After
reference
my
to another
eggs
video of
devastatingly
his.
scrambled,
I might
shifted
have to, like,
gears to the
watch all
Hoenn
those
Safari Zone,
videos
going for Phanpy.
that
On
has
day
the-
3,
that
I had
whole
someone in
story.
much better spirits take over for me for hunting. Calzone, who had recently rescued an Oddish from a dire situation.
Oh,
All the
yeah, you
humanity.
did
Who
see
is
them
trying
live
to cook the Oddish?
with,
Who is
with
trying to do
Swish.
such a cruel
Did see
thing?
them
Get it out
live.
of
My
there.
bad.
Matt's got all these games
My mistake.
I don't know
I
how I'm
forgot.
gonna do it, but I'm gonna try. Our my
Yeah,
name's not
hopefully,
Calzone.
hopefully.
Day 3 of Safari Week. Let's do this.
And also, hopefully,
Little
even
did he
if
know,
my
though,
face does
Calzone
get
would have to
caught
face
in
the story of
reflection,
his
that the
divorce from the
quality
number
of the
one
camera
Bellsprout fan head on,
holds.
with so much
Oh,
new
shit,
lore
I
added to the
fuck.
stream, including
Accidentally
a
caught a
Romeo and
whooper.
Juliet-like story
didn't mean to
where
catch
one
a
of the
whooper, that was a
Oddish
regular
and one of the
whooper.
Bellsprout fell in love, while Cal and Ramona
That's
looked
not
on
what
in
I
horror.
wanted to do.
I'm about to swear, Bellsprout, Yeah, Bellsprout's a swear
I didn't mean to catch
This
the
6
whooper.
hours of streaming tortured his
I meant to
soul,
run away from the
including
whooper.
being told that the oddish in this picture looked like a baby bump, completely ignoring that together is spelled wrong. For clarification, the oddish is just taking shelter in the shirt from the rain. This is not anything else. He didn't find a shiny. So I took over for the rest of the night on this crazy 10 times setup, while this Lil Wattrel was watching me. I'll get this Vampy, I just know it. We're gonna bring this guy home. Or maybe one of these guys, I don't know.
Day 4 of Safari Week. New Mountain Dew alert. Star Spangled Splash. Let's try it.
Trying it in the doorway. Okay, so this one is described
Yes, please
as
tell me
red
about
berry flavor. What's
Please
a
tell
red
me
berry?
so I know that I can.
It tastes
So I
red.
know.
It's alright. On day 4, I would also finally find my second shiny
Oh,
on
that's a
stream.
Dratini, not
Coming off
shiny,
a
but it's
21,000 encounter phase, the next phase was just as brutal at like 17,000. And here's what I ended up
Somehow I
finding
haven't
in
run out
Owen.
of steps in Soul Silver. Somehow, even though I've run out of steps 3 times in Platinum, how is that even possible?
The orbs at the bottom are the champions. Shiny Oddish! The orbs at the bottom are the champions. Shiny Oddish! Shiny Oddish!
We're not going to 17,000 encounters. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, shiny oddish, but it's almost midnight, so I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go.
Oh, a bot has been banned. Oh, hello, Hoot Hoot. You're not my target today, Hoot Hoot.
What the Sigma? Is that a Shiny Oddish on the screen? Oh my gosh, live Shiny Oddish! This is my live reaction to it. Oh my gosh. 16,796 encounters. This is crazy.
I keep running into Hypno
I don't
over
even
here.
see
I
my
do not want
ex-wife
to
on the
get a shiny
layout right
Hypno.
now. This is the most
It would,
beautiful
like,
thing I've seen all week.
Knock off a.
This Oddish has an iPad, probably.
Like, I don't
This is the
have
first
any
time I've
shiny
ever had the
Hypno at
honor
all,
of trying to
so
catch an Oddish
it'll be
in
good
my
for a
own
shiny
zone.
Dex.
So let's hope it stays.
So many systems to shiny
Bow.
hunt. Yeah, you're probably talking about Absol right now. Like, yeah, he has so many. I can't imagine how
Broke
much
out?
that would cost.
Oh,
Like, I only have
what?
these 3 DSs
What the
plus my
hell, Sprout,
Switch
just happened?
for shiny hunting
Oh my gosh.
and for playing
I know
Pokemon
this was your
games.
doing, Ramona Marsh. I think that they took that shiny Oddish hostage, and they had it show up in my game to cause me a great deal of distress, and stomach pain. I am feeling an insane amount of gas right now from seeing that Oddish go.
It serves that
Yeah, shiny
right that
hunting
he
really
failed
takes a long
Oddish.
time,
I
especially
hate
if
him
you're
so
doing
much.
pull-ups.
He deserved to not catch that shiny in the
Scarlet
Safari
and
Zone.
Violet have made
You
it easier
Oddish.
because of all the different ways you can
After
increase
failing
the
Oddish,
odds.
a Pokemon with one of the best catch rates in Safari Zone history,
But in earlier gens, it
I was
really is
distraught,
just
but I
encounter
needed to keep
Pokemon
hunting
and hope for the
Phanpy.
best.
I decided to do
Like,
a
every
short stream
encounter
that night.
is a gamble.
And when I said short stream, it was still like 5 hours long. Because I had to get packing for something that was happening the next day. I took flight, and it seems Calzone wasn't too far behind. And I did a ton of travel hunting.
Ooh.
More than I had ever done
Shiny
before.
Spinda. Yeah,
I
that's
had
another
never
Pokemon
quad hunted on
where-
SPs on an airplane before.
Horses are
because of all the
back for
different
a
patterns
limited
it
time,
has.
and so is Oddish.
Got 516 encounters done in the
Gamble?
air. Got
Oh.
a really long, like 4-hour layover here now.
Gambling.
So I'm gonna be chilling with Oddish and the horses. I'm gonna find something to eat, maybe get some encounters done, and then we'll be going to
Yeah, I was tempted to
California
put
Zone.
gambling in my title, but I'm not actually gambling. So I feel
why
like
was
that
I
title
going
would
to
be
California
misleading
exactly?
if I would add it to
Well, it was time for another Safari IRL. Last year, I went to Texas with Quick Panic, Brosidon,
I
and
have
Tales
a mic,
of Taylor.
sorry. I was-
And this year, it
I
was
was
going to
grabbing
be in
the bottom last.
California and bigger and better than ever. So I took wing, went over odds and into the 5 digits again before finding my 3rd shiny. And while I flew, Calzone seemed to be traveling
Yeah, I
on
was
the
straight for
ground.
like 2 hours
I've ended up in
today,
a strange car right
and then
now.
I'll continue shiny hunting
There's a
off
glowing
stream.
shirt in here. That is not an Oddish. That is a Zorua.
Super
I'm
cute in
trying
my
to figure
title.
out who's
Maybe,
kidnapping
maybe
me right now and
tomorrow
where
when I
we're
do shiny
going.
hunting.
And I
I do plan on streaming
think
this
the Oddish
every
Army
day for
might
Safari
need to make a
Week.
move here soon.
Even if only
Oddish,
for a
if
little
you're
bit
hearing
at a
this,
time.
please save me.
How you gonna get the video out there?
I mobile hotspot. As long as you don't destroy my phone.
And then I have to edit it, and then
It's gonna be a whole operation, but I got a laptop right here. So,
Like, what should the title be if I'm gonna
yeah,
put
we're gonna
Super
find
2 in
something.
the
We're gonna
title?
find a shiny in the Safari Zone too.
What should
and
the
there's
full
one of the
title
Oddish from
be?
the Oddish Army who just showed up on my game right now to save me. Your days are numbered, McDermott.
whoa, what?
The Oddish
Hey,
Army
yo,
moves.
doxing?
We are making massive moves in the Oddish Army right now. We are sending the Oddish tanks to Ramona Marsh and all the Bellsprout. These are going directly to Sinnoh right now. Yeah! 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 The Bellsprout won't know what hit them. They're gonna be using flamethrower. They're gonna be using fire blast. We got planes that are gonna use aerial ace. Everything's super effective. We got a psychic division. We're teaching them side beam. We're giving these Oddish guns. We're giving the Oddish guns, and they're gonna be working out, and they're gonna have big guns too.
I gotta
and they're gonna be
admire
looking
their
hot,
commitment to
and
the
it's gonna
bit.
make Ramona Mars. Whoa! Then Nurse Joy and Oddish Fusion will be there and give me a big kiss.
University of Calif what? What? I've never even been to California. This is breaking the immersion.
That's mad.
This is not.
Eventually, Calzone settled down and was kicked out of the car and had to hitchhike the rest of his way to the IRL, and I took his place instead.
Is that the Valiant Windworks?
I sure hope it does.
We saw a Phanpy on the side of the road, which was hopefully going to be a good sign for the shiny hunt I was doing.
Palm Springs, Palm Springs. Dude, Maridon.
And turns out the first shiny of the actual IRL at the house was a Phanpy. But it wasn't mine. It was Kotatsu and Univa's. The night was still young though, and we still had many more people to show up to the IRL. And with the number of games we had going, there had to be another shiny soon.
Tiny little metal frog. Tiny little metal frog. Tiny little metal frog.
Tiny little metal frog, give me strength.
And he was nice.
Give me shiny luck 1 year after your implementation in their IRL.
That's my target. Let's go. Unblocked. Dallas, come on. Dude, look at the comparison. That is actually so bright. That is so sick. So this was 1564 into this session. This was 12,042 encounters.
Whoa. You were standing in the odds.
That is my
Call me
third.
man, but
All because of Cool Phanpy. It is
Cool
all because of
Phanpy.
Cool Phanpy. Cool Phanpy, you're coming with us. Wait, is the tiny little metal frog still on the table too?
it sure is.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We got the Cool Phanpy. We got the tiny little metal frog. We have the anything is possible unicorn horse.
Oh, wait,
Like,
and
I noticed something.
your dreams came
when
true.
making
Wait,
the
I didn't even
layout
realize that
of
one
this
said something
stream.
different.
It does.
The
Is
dream
that
of
the
a
majority
shiny
of my
Phanpy came
targets?
We
through.
both got a Phanpy.
Yeah,
And
this
that
was
wasn't
literally
on
the
purpose
target.
at all.
But let's see
apparently
if I
it's
catch
pink.
it.
It's Pink Week too for me.
This is on Emerald. This is on my.
Because of
This
all
is
my
the same game that
targets.
failed the Oddish. Ball one.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Got it! Brought it home. 2 Phanpies in one night.
That is insane.
That is
actually.
crazy. It was all thanks to the power of watching Nyan Neko Sugar Girls. I am naming it Hitoshi.
Let's freaking go.
Hitoshi, yeah.
Single word of what was it.
You might be blessed that you don't.
You came later.
Yeah.
Yeah. You missed a lot of anime girls screaming.
It's like MS Paint anime.
Yes,
see how
it's
this
magical.
That's not even hyperbole. That's
Not that one.
All right, I need nature guesses, one by one.
Ooh, okay.
Hasty.
I'm gonna gay sassy.
I'm gonna get modest.
I'm gonna get naive. Kelsey, you have a nature guess?
Passionate.
I'm just gay.
Just gay.
And I'm gonna get mild.
I'm gonna gay mild.
I'm gonna get mild.
Not shiny, unfortunately.
Yeah, someone pull up the soundboard.
I like pointing it out
He's
because it's a rare
modest.
encounter.
And he's got a pickup.
Why is this Entei named Daddy? I wonder if we can get that. Okay.
That's my Entei.
That must be from the movie event.
Yeah.
It's a special event. Special event. Trust.
I'm going back to Kanto, I think.
Nice.
Hitoshi-san.
You gotta
So
say it like
sugoi. Yeah. Rar.
GameCube elephant time. Let's check it out. I'm back in Louisiana, but don't worry, we're going back to California for the next shiny. There he is. There he riz. That's what Shiny Fampy looks like. It's not too crazy. Brosidon had a neat idea that for every shiny you found at the IRL, you'd get a pack of cards. And if you caught it, you'd get a second one. And here's what I pulled on my first packs.
Alright, second pack. Meowth on the scene. We got Dartrix.
Do I see a border or am I tripping?
Absol. Blogging Pokemon.
Like the one from the video game.
Then, Secret Rare Petrarite.
Whoa.
Let's go. That is awesome looking.
That's crazy.
And Dekidui.
There were even more shinies found, but I've decided I'm not going to spoil them all in this video, so you can watch the other people's compilations to see what they got. It was
Yeah,
a
I'll
chill
have to
night
find
one,
some more
and
videos
we started the
for
next
us when this
day
one
by
is done.
all punching Junior the Spheal for shiny luck. This is a shiny luck ritual, and Junior actually likes it, I promise. Then we went to Costco.
Hey guys, so right now, my mom and dad will let me go to Costco and they'll let me play DS in the car.
No problem, kids. Just make sure you get good grades on your
Yeah, not in Soul Silver.
This was my first ever Costco experience, and I couldn't have picked a better way to do it. I did all the essentials, trying the nice cafe food, shiny hunting in the dairy fridge.
First ever Costco free sample that Matt's gonna get live 4K HD. That's Matt. That was not. He's living the American dream.
Live shiny hunting at the Costco table. You can buy it for $850.
This table could be yours. We don't come with the table though. Like,
We could.
we could, potentially. Just leave your offers in the comments below. Does the dust come with it for $850?
I think it has to. That's a
Yeah.
deal. Where are you right now? Are you $5.99?
I was honestly having way too much fun here for it being a store where we were stocking up on supplies.
Mud in the dairy section of Costco.
And it seems I was followed there by someone else.
Alright, we're teaching Anish the alphabet.
I wonder if I'll find any shinies this week. I mean, if I hunt every day, there's a good chance,
Type H in
right?
chat.
We're gonna do the Masuda method in
I
here.
have found
A lot of
shinies
people have been
in-
saying this is the snack that they
in
want me
Soul
to see me
Silver before.
eat,
I have
and I
found
just don't
them
get it.
in
Like, why does this remind me?
Copy of
Why
Pokemon
remind
Diamonds,
you?
but none
why does this?
Not yet.
A lot of people think that my mustache is fake,
But
but
that
I'll have
wasn't
you
in the
know
Safari
it's
Zone,
100% real
Who
and
knows?
how
Who knows?
organic.
My first ever shiny
All
was
Cal organic, all real. The Safari Zone is real. The mustache is real. I'm Calzone. I'm in the produce freezer at Costco.
I need to do my
I don't know how I got here.
How did I,
How did we get here?
Sadly, there were no
Well, and also
Costco
that I have a
shinies, but
camera
there were
set
more
up that
gamers
works.
waiting for us back at HQ.
I need to set up a camera of that.
Since yesterday, Blue Vactor and Ari Bun showed up, bringing Kendamas for everyone, and Gremlin Gremlin and Advicide from the Nova League were there with Skyfish Jack.
think doing a recreation
Even more
hunt would be
crazy
lots of
shinies
fun.
were found, including probably the wildest finds of the weekend, which happened while we were at Costco.
I really wish I could be near Jolly Wajo Bay, but I can't.
Soon my next shiny would appear, and actually under odds for once.
I hope that's me. I hope I can be under odds with it. Though I'm not keeping track. So who knows?
Wait, where's my main camera? Here it is. I am currently surrounded by so many people right now. Yippee!
Oh my gosh.
I have found a Nidorino. Will I catch it? Yes or Nidorino?
Yes,
Let's find
yes.
out. Oh, I didn't take a picture of it. I need to take a picture of the fleeting moment if it breaks out. Oh, wait. It stayed. It stayed. Okay, I'm ripping out the cartridge too if it runs, so. All right. Ball 2. Broke out. Stayed.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Ball 3. It's up all the way. This is as loud as SpongeBob gets. 1, 2, 3. It broke out.
No.
Stayed.
Okay.
3 shake. Fake. Okay. Ball. Is that 4? I think so.
Yes.
Okay, I've been
I
shooting
can't
for
count.
about
Broke out.
1 more hour.
Stay. It stayed though.
Whenever I see a Dratini or a Dragonair on this one,
Freeze. Wait, let's
like
listen.
I can't see the colors fully at the angle that it's at.
That's a jam.
So I'm always just like, is it shiny? No, it's not. It's the rare encounter.
Guys, I found a shiny Nidorino, and there's not even a game in my system.
What the Sigma?
How did this happen?
Oh, how many encounters is that? Hold on. 3,323. That was actually under odds.
Oh shoot, I zoomed in too far.
That was actually under odds.
Oh my goodness, what the heck? Say one final goodbye. Bye.
For failing Nidorino, I opened some Chrono Forze, Italian Pokemon cards.
Electivare Pugno what? We got Chinchino with Schiaffetto. Drampa with Schiaffetto. That's the same move. Oh, that's the we have a
Even if I don't
relic
catch
with
it,
pin a
I'll be
llama. That's when you pin a llama to the wall with your hands and it's gonna move. Then we got Aluna Rugente. It's got Piume Vindicative and Alla Veloce Bellissimo.
Poseidon then started grilling, so we could have a delicious steak dinner on the floor. And then LJ, Shiny Collector, showed up. More people punched Junior for luck. And much like his old Giratina video, Dallas's game froze, and it was kind of freaky.
Collector. It looks like a grave. This is like a creepy pasta.
No. Your game is cursed.
My game froze. Live Shiny Giratina.
And before we knew it, it was time for the Nova League's terrifying tradition of Day 7 of Safari Week. Eating old food. Don't try this at home. Everyone got a Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl Capri Sun that expired in 2022. Calzone and Ramona Marsh also ended up on the stream, but thankfully not at the same time.
Right, that actually scares me.
Have any of y'all seen that Ramona Marsh?
Oh my god!
I'm going to war against her right now. And who came up with the word calzissing? That is not a word. I don't even know what that means.
That is not a word, you guys.
The shiny odds are 4096. Disgusting.
Support the Great Marsh.
Oh my god.
Ramona.
Oh my god.
Did you guys see Calzone around here?
No, I think he's
No, I promise
Oh,
we've never
thank
seen a man in my
I
life.
hate that.
I think we all survived the Capri Suns, but just like Dallas's game freezing, this happened to me not too long after, and I don't think this was a coincidence. We really started hitting the hunting hard after this, and the results definitely showed it.
You know, she's saying like, oh my god, no, stop, don't be happy or anything. Oh my god, stop it, stop.
Before we knew it, it was day 8. And we were energized and ready to go hunt some shinies.
Alright guys, breakfast is served.
No!
Just a normal day for Spiel. Yeah, right.
I decided I'd try and give streaming at the IRL a shot, and there were some stream shinies.
Let's see your
I'm
pin
like
number
trying
in.
to stay.
Please don't hit any of the games or me. Oh,
Inside.
if you have to hit one,
shiny Skorupi!
Kotatsu found a Skorupi.
I heard there was a shiny found in my zone.
I gotta.
Yeah, in your marsh, you mean? Like, I can't believe you just called it that.
Oh, sorry.
gotta
Echoes
get
of the
my copy,
past.
though.
I march every night.
You marsh every night.
Calzone even decided to stream a little bit.
You're Poseidon now.
No way. Poseidon Live, that's you.
TikTok.
Oh!
That's in my zone. That's in my Emerald Extension zone. Power of the Adish. Power within. Power within.
Come on.
But his stream was ended with a terrifying confrontation.
Miho and I are gonna eat some
Tacos. I mean enchiladas.
There goes Kotatsu. I hope she's not eating an oddish like she said she would. That would be.
I knew it.
Oh no!
My calzone.
I need to get out of
Radar
here.
is going off.
I need to go. Oh
You need
my
to get out of here. Get out of my zone.
Oh my gosh.
Get out of here, cow.
I'm taking Miho with me.
No! What's up, guys? It's me, Ramona. Can you believe that calzone is here? I hate that guy so much.
When the G-rated movie had an R-rated sequel.
I swear to God, I tried so hard to keep it in check, but this calzone, and he took me out. Please leave Cal alone. How about you please shut up? Jeez, you know I'm over this. Bye.
Whoa, is that Ramona Mars?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm
pretty
taking this artist with me. I'm gonna
Oh
barbecue
my
him.
gosh. Oh, that's
Have him for
great.
supper.
It's gonna be time to eat. That evening, Queen Ruby brought us some delicious enchiladas to enjoy, and we kept on hunting. And eventually, I would find my next shiny.
Finger reveal.
Don't tell Oak I have more than 6 Pokemon on me.
Oh yeah, that's important. That's important.
I got that dog in me. Yeah. On me too.
You got that dog on you?
On me, in me.
Hey, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Chicken Platinum is becoming very expensive. Like Soul Silver, I don't think there is a step down because I haven't encountered it. If there is one.
My first in the Johto Safari Zone this weekend, Shiny Dodrio. All the gamers are arriving in droves for this Dodrio.
Oh, wow.
That's what I really want. My seagulls again.
See this?
Yeah, there's my stream chat.
Oh.
This bird is green.
Can I keep 1.5?
This bird is so green.
This is just like the Last Supper you guys.
This is my heart goal, yeah.
It is a modern day Last Supper.
Okay.
Let's see it, Matt.
All right, first ball, first ball.
All right.
Broke out.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's broken.
It stayed.
Whenever Psyduck comes on screen, it's so what
This came after 9,470.
Standing in the on.
Because it looks good.
But will it be standing
When
in
it
the
pops in.
ground
But I
after
have
breaking
no
out of the ball, or
idea.
will it be running? It stayed. Why don't you go Drio into the ball? Dodri go. Dodri stay. Dodri stay. Thank you. Oh my god.
Dude, it's watching carefully,
It is fighting.
It's probably careful natured.
Oh my god.
He's still doing.
It ain't right.
It ain't right. It just ain't.
There were a few warning shots and you still kept going. Tons, dude.
Oh man.
After this Dodrio fled, I was devastated. We needed to punch Junior more for luck. We even became Bro Sidon, and then I went for a walk to clear my head. Look at that golden shaft right there. I noticed it straight away.
Good tweet.
6th shiny of Safari Week. Shiny Meltan. Shiny Melting Tan.
You could Master Ball. You could be the only one to have a Master Ball Meltan.
Unfortunately, he probably wouldn't be.
You know, I'm gonna do that.
No way.
I'm doing it. I'm freaking doing it, man. It's M for Meltan, and M for Matt, and M for Mafari Meek, and...
Did you pull a Shiny Collector Classic?
I did pull a Shiny Collector Classic and just Master Ball it like the pathetic hunter that I am.
That's a reference.
Typical.
Do you think that Meltan wanted to be caught? No, not to you anyway. And then we had a chance meeting of a lifetime. Just like how we randomly encountered Kotatsu and she became a member of the group last year, we randomly encountered the horse balloon. I galloped on home with the horse balloon and it became a permanent fixture of the setup. It's holding an air balloon, I think. It's Terra flying, Mudsdale. Then we went swimming, with some brave souls even shiny hunting in the pool. Calzone calzist some games for good luck. Then we moved the table to a better location, so it was really like we were all hunting together. And after yet another shiny was found, we rested up for another adventure the next day.
What the crap?
them.
Some of us rode in the Gremlin mobile to go to the zoo.
Gremlin.
We're in the real life zone right now. It's a wild Rhyhorn.
Hope he doesn't flee.
Will he stay? I don't think this one's gonna flee from me. I feel like this one will stay if I throw a ball.
Throwing too much bait.
Oh, he's getting up. Oh, maybe he will flee.
No.
There's Girafarig and Farigiraf. There's a Pokemon in real life.
Here at the Hoenn Safari Zone, we love the Girafarig. You will not find this in the Great Marsh. Ramona Marsh could never.
As you can see here, this is one of the many Pokeblock feeders that I've installed in the Hoenn Safari Zone here. We got some safari hunters who are going after it right now. They put the Pokeblocks in there.
I want to keep surfing.
Little.
Where's Elisa?
At my house.
There was also a run-in with Ramona Marsh here, talking about the tram system of the Great Marsh.
What's up?
It's
me, Ramona Marsh. As you can
It's
see
mostly
here,
coming from this
is
screen,
a
because,
demonstration
like,
of
the
how
colors are
the
distorted
amazing Great Marsh
at
tram
the
system
angle
works.
depth
I
of
came
the-
up with it all by
and
myself
also
in
they're
Calzone.
distorted
He thought
on
it was so
stream
hard, but
screen.
never mind.
Like, that looks shiny,
It's
but it's not.
genius because
It's not.
it can
It's
take you
not
to
a
different
shiny,
areas
trust
of
me
the
on that.
safari where there are different
Just gonna have to trust
Pokemon.
me.
The reason why we don't have any of those stupid tram systems in the Hoenn Safari Zone is because the Girafarig would like to get on and it causes the trains to stop. Ramona doesn't keep Girafarig in her zone, which, you know, is not as cool as mine. And oh no, she's here! The Oddish army moves using Ramona's train system. She will never know it. Oh gosh! It is a little known fact that the Pokemon Numel and Camerupt love Chipotle. They love barbacoa burritos.
Then, much to Lapras's dismay, we abandoned the pool and really focused on hunting. On this many games.
We got 5 systems, 7 systems, that brings us to 12, 15, just to 18, 26, 32, 39, 43, 45, 50,
Like a shiny
57,
monster.
64, 69. Nice! Nice!
Then, very shortly after seeing if I could pull off the dance to Cotton Eye Joe at night course speed, my next shiny magically appeared.
This is like actually a workout. Shiny Shakes!
The Cotton Eye Joe. I got me dancing to that on the side.
Oh man, it works!
It worked. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we're just some gamers living in the moment right now. And there's a shiny Shinx on my screen right now.
No way, it's right
And
there.
there's a horse suspended in the air. And there's a shiny Shinx. Holy Shinx, guys. Holy Shinx, guys. You won't believe this.
Dallas isn't even here right now.
It's me, the Supreme Arcanines. I'm out on a grocery run right now, but
That sounds like
I'm
part of
haunting Matt right
Getting
now.
jump scared by it. Like,
And
shiny? No.
through the spirit of Dallas, I will throw this safari ball at this shiny Shinx. Holy Shinx, guys. Oh my gosh. Now I'm Dallas. My bad. Okay. I've gone Dallas mode now.
Shinx gone.
All right. We're going to throw a ball.
Okay, ball one.
I got base mode. I got beast mode. This Shinx is going beast mode as it gets in the ball and it breaks out.
No!
Shinx!
Oh, it ran.
No! I didn't dance well enough! I didn't dance well enough! No!
Man, that is
So sad.
Why am I not getting into it?
I knew that I wasn't
I was
Dallas.
wondering why I wasn't
Yeah,
getting
exactly.
into Huh?
And that's Skyfish Jack.
What's with that?
Hey guys, Supreme Arcanines here, and yup, you guessed it. Matt just found a holy Shinx, and he wholly failed it.
Was that good for you?
Disappointment.
Was that good for you, Matt? Yeah, that was perfect. That was perfect. That was perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
We continued to hunt for the rest of the night, with lots of huge successes and also huge failure. Look at how LJ fell off this chair.
Messed with my, hopefully I didn't press any
Live
buttons.
failed. That's just like all my Safari shinies except for Fampy.
Womp womp.
All right, this is an important shiny ritual. Anything is possible.
Dreams come true.
And then they touch horns.
Yay.
Did this magical horse ritual actually work though? That's the question that would be answered on the final full day of Safari Week, Day 10, where Calzone did a stream
Day
until
10.
a shiny
Yeah,
was
because the
found.
week is 10 days.
Here's the shiny that showed up and who it was for.
I'm Calzone and I'm not with Chime.
But it says you are.
Are you sure?
It says I'm Calzone and I'm with
I
Child. Are
that,
you gonna deny the allegation?
that is fake.
No, it's
It is
real.
AI generated.
AI generated.
On the notebook, they got the technology for that now. They As far as shiny finds, this is not the best Safari Week in recent years for Matt, but this is one of the craziest, most wild Safari Weeks I've ever personally experienced. That's for dang sure. Shiny Execute! Shiny Execute!
I love the reaction of everybody. Like they all jump for joy.
Calzone just found an Execute right now. Really crazy.
That sounded like a Matt reaction.
That was Calzone. 7,824 encounters. I have been working on my Matt impression. Listen to him right now. I am such a Sigma male. Okay. We got lots of people here. We got so many people here right now. We're live on stream. This is not an Oddish, but like if you added leaves to them, we could probably like paint them and pass them off as an Oddish if I catch them. That's their fate because Matt only has one shiny Execute. He has not completed the line. Every other Execute has just made
Not
like
shiny.
Ramona Marsh, my
Not
ex-wife,
shiny
and
to
fled.
me.
So right now, I'm gonna throw my first bow. My first
Bow.
Calzal. Do not
Calzal.
think about that word anymore. Let's see if it shakes. 1, 2, 3.
Here we go.
Calzone just caught an Execute. We're painting this to look like Oddish. The Cal's eggs.
It was so close. It was
All
really
right.
close.
What?
It wasn't close
I'm naming
at
it
all.
after my favorite video format, the MP4. There we go. All right, so let's leave the zone and let's save the game.
I just lost the game.
All right, we're about to encounter something right now. That is a normal Oddish. Normal Oddish. Let's go. And Empreg.
I'm here on the scene.
I'm here on the card.
Personally, the last time that I saw Calzone at the IRL was right here when he was doing the Calzance. He
Cal's
even
Zitty?
hit the Cal's Riddy.
Oh. I was ready. I was close. Shiny. Shiny will definitely stand out in this game because of just how pink it is. So many pink Pokemon to find.
If it's cold, they're cold. Let them in.
We really locked in for the rest of the day hunting. Except for me, I played Pokepark 2, and we resorted to anything and everything to get us some last-second shinies.
Please, young Sheldon, please.
Please, young Sheldon.
Please, young Sheldon. Please.
I got 22K, young Sheldon.
Young Sheldon, I'm so sorry that we haven't found a shiny for you yet. We're trying the hardest we can.
We're zoning.
We're zoning. I'm gonna zone. I'm gonna gram.
Something to get shiny.
Oh my god.
We gotta lock in. We are drowning like
How about next time someone gets a shiny, then we'll like, because everyone will be up already. Yeah. For the reaction, we'll do the spin trade.
Shiny Nidoran!
Oh
my god! Yeah! No way that just happened. 4504! Alright, it is late at night. I have a shiny Nidoran on screen after 4504 encounters. We did not disappoint young Sheldon. We can make him happy now. Let's
It's on
catch
the
it.
Pikachu Game Boy too.
It is on the
Awesome.
Pikachu. Turn it up all the way.
Check out Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu. Shout out to Ryan Reynolds. I'm gonna put Meowth on the screen. I have had one of these run from me before.
Oh god.
We're about to watch it happen again.
No.
Ball.
Calzol.
And by running from me, I mean we're running around box 3.
Shiny Nidoran caught.
2 boxes wasn't it?
Wait, have we pulled the secret rare yet?
That's Seadra.
Alright.
We got
Kind of one
Joltik.
dragon.
No, it's Xerosic. Xerosic is the secret
But I hope I can find it today.
His nature guesses, I'm
We're not
blinded.
tomorrow.
I'm gonna get Hershey.
Adam,
I want the clouds. I want the cloud of the shiny dragon.
Dallas
Air.
got it. It's bold.
And then I'm gonna clip it.
Bald.
And then it will
It's
make
bald.
me famous.
Look at that bald girl named Spin Trade. We're about to do spin trades. That was number 8 for Safari Week.
Yeah.
So in Platinum and Heart Gold Soul Silver, there's this feature called Spin Trades, where up to 5 people can put in an egg, and you randomly receive one of the eggs in return. And it's a feature that I always forget exists and I had never used before, and we did some at the IRL, and it was pretty fun. And here are the Pokemon that I got from it. I actually stopped shiny hunting for the IRL after this, because it was almost midnight and the end of Safari Week. I didn't have to do any overtime this year, and instead I started packing up to go home.
The last shiny of Safari Week in the house.
This house is so cool. Wait, what's behind this door? What? Yo! I don't want to see this anymore.
Wait, he's been missing for 14 days. Why would you?
Oh,
What, we find.
Uh-oh. Now it's locked.
It's probably better this way.
We'll see you next time.
I didn't find any shinies.
Yes, you did.
Shut up.
When you're in the zone, couldn't throw you
Goodbye,
anyway.
horse balloon. I will never forget you, but this is where you belong.
You're a perfect shiny.
Run free. Maybe one day I'll see you again.
Sparkles made me pop off.
Had such an amazing time at the IRL with my friends, and like we just joined over one of the greatest common interests that we have, which is
Minecraft.
And then I sadly had to travel home, remembering the fallen shinies along the way. I failed 5 out of 8 of my Safari shinies this year, but that wasn't as bad as saying the most ironic thing I've ever said before landing in Houston, and then finding out my flight was delayed till the next morning. Things were pretty bad for me with that, but maybe things were a little bit worse with Calzone. Let's see what happened with him.
Well, it's been a good time here in California's field. I never really thought I'd be here. I know it's still not my name, but I've accepted that I'm in California and my name is Calzone, which is...
This is for the Bellsprout.
I wanna catch 'em all. I want a perfect shiny.
Jeez! Whoa!
With
Where'd
maxed
Calzone
out.
go?
Video's almost over, right?
Where's Calzone? What happened to him? I thought he was
Want
here.
you to know this.
Let's see, what should I watch after this?
When I find a shiny oddish.
Let's see, let me...
I wish I could catch you.
see, well
I
there...
wish I could
a shiny
catch
video over
you.
here.
Hasta la vista, oddish.
But I'm a hunter.
I want to find one that's like a half hour long.
A safari hunter. Why the hell am I hunted here? I shouldn't hunt here.
For real though, this shiny hunting thing
Okay,
is
there's this
such a
20-minute
crazy
one
hobby.
that just popped up.
Something that just started out as a solitary activity in my
You'll probably
room
watch
has
that
somehow
one.
turned into this, where I'm meeting up with so many friends and we're finding 37 shinies over the course of a few days in one house. I really never thought that this would happen, and I can't wait to see where my Pokemon adventures take me next. So stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
See you next time, Absol. I look forward to the new video you make of this year's Safari Week. Alright. Let's pull up this video from
Safari Week. A week long of
There we go.
hunting in a safari zone of your choice.
Let's get down
in
to
a main
business.
series Pokemon game hosted by the incredible Absolblog's Pokemon. This is a risky way to shiny hunt because Pokemon in the safari zone aren't a guaranteed catch. They have a chance to flee, but that's what makes Safari Week so much fun. Last year for Safari Week, I double hunted in the BDSP Great Marsh looking for Skorupi. Spoiler alert, we did not find him. This
Oh
year,
dear.
I decided to tackle the same Pokemon but in different games. I would be shiny hunting in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Once again on the hunt for the elusive red shiny bug. My history with shiny Skorupi is long, the lore is there, and I was determined to catch him this year. So let's talk about this year. There are a lot of really cool options when
No
it comes
shiny,
to Pokemon encounters and choosing which safari zone you'd like to hunt in. But of all the options, I personally
I'm
find that
so
Heart
looking
Gold and
forward
Soul
to when
Silver's
this is
safari zone
shiny.
is the coolest because of
So
how
looking forward to
customizable it is. And there are so many Pokemon options available. But these options do come at a cost, as some Pokemon will literally not show up until a certain amount of time has passed on your clock. Some Pokemon are also picky about the items that you have placed down in your safari zone. Thankfully, Skorupi was a really easy Pokemon to have spawn in the zone. I just had to wait a few hours in order to unlock some items to place down. For some reason, Skorupi is attracted to stones. I don't know what to tell you. I dropped some stones in the
love
Wastelands
rocks.
biome. Skorupi was there,
crave
and I was ready to shiny hunt. Last year when I hunted in BDSP, the odds of finding a shiny Pokemon were 1 in 4,096. But in Heart Gold Soul Silver, they're back to the OG 1 in 8,192. With my Illuminate Pokemon in my party and White Flute in hand, I was ready. Little did I know, I was setting up for my longest shiny hunt ever.
Oh dear.
Day 1 of Safari Week started on Friday, June 21st. I love this day so much because so many people are live shiny hunting in the zone of their choice, and there are so many options to watch while you're hunting yourself. I did a few encounters at midnight to get into the groove of things, but I really locked in on stream. Counter number 1000. Huge gaming moment. If I had to predict for what we'll find, I feel like we'll find a Magnemite if we find anything. Shiny hunting streams are essentially just chatting streams, so we
Yeah, I
talked
need to get
about all
better at
sorts of
that.
fun topics on day 1, like cereal prices. Dude, inflation really got cereal. Cereal boxes are so expensive.
I guess I
these
could tell the
days.
story of.
I couldn't believe
It's
it.
not really a
First of
story,
all,
it's more just a little
can I
anecdotes.
just say, most of the time when
As
you
I
go
went
to,
out
to
to
buy
get
cereal,
dinner
they
today, I had
only
tacos
have
for
like the
dinner.
big boxes nowadays.
There was like some
I have
Robins
noticed
on the
this at like
front
so
lawn,
many grocery
but
stores.
one of them was
and
just being
two,
so
they're
mean
like
to
$6.
others. Like it kept attacking them. I'm just like, okay, is it two males attacking each other for a female?
And while I
Is
was
it that
shiny
time of
hunting
year?
in one room, my
But then
partner
no, it
was
attacked
shiny hunting
the
in
other
the other
Robin
room.
that was in the area. It's just like, oh, you're just a jerk.
Did Clay just get a shiny?
I wish I saved that stream.
Oh my god!
No shot, dude. No shot. Turn that audio on.
I'm so happy! I may have not found anything on day 1, but he found his first ever full odd shiny in Pokemon Ruby, so that was pretty exciting. That night, I got a few more encounters in while dealing with something kind of embarrassing. I like to call this shiny hunter neck. After sitting for 6 hours hunched over my 2 3DSs, my neck really hurt for the next 2 days, and it got to the point where I literally had to ice it. But the grind doesn't stop. I continued hunting while also trying to rest my neck for the next 2 days. The goal today is to hit odds. That's the vibe today. We'll see. Oh, the pizza's done. I did not realize how pathetic this pizza
I wonder how many
is.
encounters I'm getting in a minute.
This
Based
is
on
the
just
this is the size of my pinky.
three
This is
games.
the tiniest little guy I have ever seen. It has a single green pepper on it. This will fill me up for 20 minutes. So that's good. I'm gonna have to really savor that green pepper. It looks so lonely. Effa, you cannot have that. She has been so bad lately when it comes to people food. You're not eating that. Cleffa, you are. You're done.
She
You're
named her
done.
cat after
You're
a
done.
Pokemon. That's
Absolutely
cute.
not. Oh my god. She just swiped for it. She just went like that. Oh my god, it almost fell onto the ground. I would have ended stream. No, you're done. Get out of here. No. Hold. Hold. Hold.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Preparing the Krabby Patty.
Imagine. Imagine it happened. We're
Yeah, that would've been so
over
dope.
odds. But who's surprised? Literally, who's surprised here? Day 2 of stream, all that really happened was I hit odds. While it's a bummer to not find a shiny Pokemon under odds, I really can't complain too much because of how fast the encounters are in Heart Gold Soul Silver. I was averaging around 500 to 550 encounters every hour with my 2 consoles. Imagine the numbers I could hit if I had more than 2 games to hunt on. You'll often see incredible shiny hunting veterans hit crazy numbers in just a few hours because of how many consoles they hunt on. It is really something. While I was struggling to keep up with the number of encounters other creators were hitting in just a few days, I was doing a great job of keeping track of my own time in
Yeah, I only
encounters
have 3
while
games
also
as well,
looking
so
super
you're not alone,
stylish
Arlie, yeah.
doing so.
You're not alone
And
in
that's
that,
thanks
Arlie.
to today's sponsor, Holzkern. If you're looking for a
Oh, it's your
stylish way to
sponsor.
get those encounters in,
Sponsorship.
Holzkern's got you. Whether it's a birthday party
shiny
or a
side,
holiday
like it.
gift,
Keeps
Holzkern has
faking
an
me out.
incredible selection
Keeps
of
faking me
watches
out with
and
the blue.
accessories that make the
Because it keeps looking
perfect
blue.
present. I personally wear the Anakenna in walnut and marble, and I literally love it. It's also summertime, and I've been loving their selection of sunglasses. They offer free express worldwide shipping, and products normally take about 2 to 5 business days to arrive. Holzkern also offers a 24-month warranty on all watches,
And no
bandlets,
Sentra. I'm getting more
and
Sentra
jewelry,
over
as
here.
well as a
I'm happy about that, but
25-day
no
money-back
shinies.
guarantee on all products. A lot more reliable than the Safari Zone, that's for sure. Click the link in the description and use my code PARTYARLY to receive 10% off your purchase site-wide. Thank you so much, Holzkern, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back in the zone. Hey, hi, Puff. All right, 10K.
Preparing the Krabby Patty.
Messed up. All right, Marcel. Interesting first time chat. And if you're wrong, what then? What if it's not 10, 8, 1, 2? What do we do then? It will? This confidence is alarming. I'm scared. Despite the chat's confidence and me finding a shiny today, nothing was found. We hit 5 digits though when it came to encounters, which was neat, I guess. I continued hunting off stream and got around 1,000 encounters in that night. You know, it got pretty serious when I threw on the gamer glasses for this.
Oh dear. The game.
Day 4 of stream was a huge nostalgia
Imagine
trip.
that was a
Like I said
shiny, not
earlier,
even, like,
shiny hunting
Target.
streams are literally just chatting streams.
I wouldn't
and
mind
if you're
getting
looking
a
for a
Bluetooth or
comfy
knocked
place to
out.
hang out and chat in on Twitch,
But
then you
it's
should
not what I'm
definitely
looking
follow
for
me over
this
there.
year.
Not only do we do a lot of shiny hunting, but we also play a variety of Nintendo games. I would say it's a good time. Chicken fries were the vibe back in the day. And then who was there? Who remembers the bacon sundae that Burger King had for like a month? Remember the era where everybody was obsessed with bacon and mustaches? Oh my god, the crackle nail
people are
polish was
still
so
obsessed with
ugly.
bacon.
What were we thinking?
real.
Claire's really had us by the
Bacon will
throat.
always
Dude,
be
I
an
had so
obsession.
many pairs of Toms. I had so many Toms. Oh my
Bacon is
god.
very
This
nice,
is so
especially when it's
embarrassing.
nice
I
and
just
crunchy.
remembered
Oh
this.
shit.
We had a
Wrong button.
friend who did commissioned painted Toms.
Cedric,
She
you don't need to
painted
be
me.
caught. It's fine. You can run.
She painted me.
Of course,
The
I
Fault
catch
in Our
Cedric. I didn't
Stars
need to catch. First it was
Toms, and
Whooper,
I
now it's
wore
Cedric.
them. And then also I
teeny,
had
not shiny.
Peter Pan Toms. I completely forgot about them. Oh my god. We have really unlocked some memories today. Today has been quite the throwback of a
Anyway,
stream.
I like crispy
Y'all
bacon.
remember
I like it to
Tamagotchis.
Have a good crunch. When I take a
Marlon,
bite into it.
I'm so glad you asked. Okay, you know what? Honestly, I've been wanting to okay, so I accidentally killed this one. Last year for Safari Week, we raised a child together, Blimp, for anybody who doesn't remember Blimp. We should raise a new child, a new Tamagotchi together. Real ones remember when Blimp literally got robbed on stream last year. I say we do it. Look at the eggs. There we go. Beauty Guru. So this is my naked palette. Urban Decay. Okay, they're hatching. Any names for our family? We need to do family name. Safari family. We could name it the Safari family. Oh my god, no, it's Safar. I couldn't do the I.
The Safar
family of Safar. Thank you, Winston Churchill, for the follow. On the edge of my seat. Will they chat? Did y'all know Winston Churchill is hunting in the Safari Zone this week?
Oh dear.
Oh, Winston Churchill. So you could speak with your friends. Welcome. This stream has been a fever dream. I am never streaming on a Wednesday again. Winston Churchill, will you be joining us for tomorrow's stream? I think the people want to know, but they are too shy to ask, so I'll go ahead and ask. Another day, another 13,000. No more than that. No more. No. Despite the luck from Winston Churchill, we found nothing. I was shiny hunting at night and on my way to 15,000 random encounters. I'll be honest, I was feeling kind of bad. There I was with my 2 games and a dream, just trying to find one shiny Pokemon this week. I just wanted to see a Sparkle. I didn't even need to catch it anymore at this point. Alrighty, let's lock in, gamers. We've put all this work into Safari Week only to find nothing. Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
All this work and all we've found is a Winston Churchill. What if I went on the bottom row of grass for better shiny luck? Let's try it. On day 5, the only exciting things that happened were hitting 15,000 encounters and eating a fig bar. That's literally it. I am curious how I'm going to react to this because at this point it's like, girl, you're late. Like, it's Thursday. You're late.
No.
You know what I think? Here's what I want to say real quick. Let me give you all my theory here. Ever since moving to California, I swear to God, when I moved here, I just like forgot to pack the shiny luck. I have been an over odds gamer since moving here. I need to go back home, grab the luck, fly back. Cause seriously, we did the Stunfisk Con after moving. Over odds. Snom, over odds. Safari Week, over odds. All right, gamers, 16,384 is double odds. We're double odds. We're double odds.
That can't
Here
be,
we are. It's okay.
That can't be a
It's a
good
fun
sign.
story. It's a fun. We will remember back on this Safari Week fondly as the week I went and got no shiny Pokemon.
Surely.
It'll be a good tale for the grandkids on YouTube. That's for sure. My grandchildren on YouTube. What do you mean it's time? Put Skorupi in the Shadow Realm? You really think it's time? Already? Does he really deserve this? Oh my god. Why is it so big? All right, Skorupi, this is what you get. You've taken us double over odds. So, like, we have to put you here. Like, we really don't have any other choice, I suppose. He did this to himself.
Second Dragonair
now, if he
stream,
wants
second
out,
Dragonair
he's got to
stream.
shine or tell
Not a
one of his
shiny,
good buddies to shine.
it's the
He
second
kind of
one.
does fit in there perfectly. I honestly feel like I wouldn't mind this long of a hunt. If it just wasn't
hope
the
to get the
first
shiny.
one, the first phase,
That would
you
be
know?
the most
I don't know.
clout.
I would.
Because you've gotten a lot more Dratinis than Dragonairs. Shiny Dragonair.
There they
would
are,
be
the most mid Pokemon I've ever seen
encounter
in
to
my
get.
entire life. Why is Skorupi in the Shadow Realm? That is why. Taco, this is my new longest hunt. This is it. And this is quite literally baby numbers compared to some other gamers out there. A lot going on in Slateport in like the little outdoor area.
I keep
you
accidentally
know?
throwing balls when
Oh
I
my
don't
god,
mean
y'all.
to.
Oh my god. It finally happened. Shiny Gen 9 Magnemite on the screen.
Okay, at least it's
Holy
within
shit. Dude, I've had this thing ready to go for a little bit now. Dude, this is crazy. I can't believe it's finally over. Who was here? People will say it's fake. All right, it's time.
Nah.
Well, how's everybody's Sunday going? And now, overtime for Safari Week had begun. A lot of times, shiny hunters will continue to shiny hunt after Safari Week has already ended in order to finish out the phase that they're on. Or if they're like me, just literally find any shiny Pokemon at all. Any. I can't wait for this
I
to
don't think we're
end,
gonna
I'll
be
be
doing that,
honest.
though. I'm just gonna be doing it
so
for this
excited
week,
for this to be
'cause
done.
there's other Pokemon
I'm
stuff I
nervous.
wanna do.
It's over there. A
Like
golden
playing my
Kappa
Japanese copy of
train.
Pokemon Pearl. I wanna do that. I
We
wanna
ended up
start
getting a
that
golden
so that I
Kappa
can
hype
actually
train during this
start my
stream, which was
Japanese
pretty
study
funny
in
because
earnest
this is a super rare hype train. I really don't know how to describe it if you're not on Twitch. Just know that it's really
Oh, hi,
rare.
Dingo.
So it was quite fitting to see that rather than
Imagine
a
if
shiny
Tingle was
Pokemon.
shiny. The
All right,
first
enjoy your
Tingle that I've ever
golden
seen,
Kappa.
and it's
Everybody
shiny.
wants one. Anyway, back to shiny hunting. Yeah, okay. Has anybody heard the Minecraft remix of Charlie XCX's 360? Anybody get recommended that on YouTube or just me? Okay, it's called Oh Shoot Zombie.
This is where the shinies gonna come,
When
isn't
you're in the
it?
nether, can you feel that heat? Big step banging on the jukebox, please.
It's my favorite part.
Minding that.
Man and that. I got recommended that at
Oh,
like
no.
2 a.m. the other night, and I was like, I gotta log off. There's a Red Wine Supernova Minecraft remix. Wait, hold on. Where? Redstone Elevator?
First song
Let's
compilation.
dig it up now. Falsetto. Is a choice to subscribe during this. All right, well, we have spiraled
Accidentally got out of the
truly
water.
into another realm. I don't even know where we are anymore. 22,000. We did 1,601 encounters today. That's pretty good. And finally, it was time for day 8 of the Safari Zone.
Yeah, I'm
It's
starting to
kinda
get
tough
tired
to
now.
keep
It's late at night
grinding
now,
post
so I'm,
Safari
like,
Week
sitting
because
up
not
straight
everybody participates
whole
in
lot,
overtime. I
so
didn't
that's
have
taking a lot
other
of
streamers
energy.
to watch and
Definitely
suffer in
gonna
the
stop
Safari
streaming
Zone
once this
with. It was
video
just
is
me
over.
and my 0 shiny Pokemon. I had a lot of people ask me throughout the week what number I was gonna call it at, but that just didn't really make sense to me. I'd already put this many hours into the hunt. What would be the point in just throwing all that away and calling it there? I knew I was gonna finish out this hunt no matter how long it took. Walking fossils in a way. For anybody wondering, by the way, Cleffa is a donut.
Oh, look at that! They even have the regular one right next to it to compare. The celebration!
Where have you f***ing been, bitch? Do you see this god number? 22,146, not 8, sorry.
shiny.
46. Finally!
Psyduck
Gen
keeps
9
picking me out.
Magnemite was real the whole time. I can't even believe it, dude. All right, now comes the hard part. Y'all ready? Throw a ball. Here we
this?
go. Ready?
I think once stream is over, I'll continue hunting in Fire Red and Soul Silver, but not in Platinum, because it keeps like... Because like the step limit here is getting in the way and it's kind of annoying. Well, what a way to end the Safari Week. Rippin' pep. Rippin' pepperoni. Oh, they're very nice. Let's see here. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and go over to Twitch and find someone to raid for today. Let's see, tomorrow we'll definitely be streaming at least once, if not twice. Like a few hours, do more Safari Week. And then I'll probably do some Minecraft. Maybe. Maybe. It'll entirely depend. But let's see. For raiding, let's see if we can find someone doing more Safari Week stuff. See here, I'm gonna put my notes over to the side so I can actually look it up. Oh, I keep it hidden, Mike. Sorry. Right, Safari Week. Let's see. Who is live? Who is live? see here. Not a lot of people right now using the Safari Week tag. I guess it is late. Oh, the Gremlin. That's Absol's friend. Yeah, we can raid into him. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna start the raid. I can't. Raid into Gremlin. Okay. I guess it makes sense. Doesn't wanna be raided by strangers. Ending stream? Yeah, ending stream right now. Oh, hydration check? Oh, something last stream, but weren't able to? Oh, what is it, Topi? You have the time now. Since I gotta find someone new to raid into. Yes? Oh my god, how many games does this person have? This person has 20 games going on at once. Oh, please let me raid into you. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna put the raid message into chat. Oh. You think I can make money from my art? Well, I hope so too. I am trying to sell adoptables, so there's that. You want to carry me? Well, we'll have to see. If we ever get a chance to... Like, if there's ever a meet and greet far off in the future, we'll have to give it a try. Alright, there's the raid message for today. I'm gonna thank everyone for coming today. Thank you, Blueberry, for raiding into me. And tomorrow, we'll be doing more Safari Week. And also other games. I'll make sure to drink water once I end stream, Topi. Just gotta take care of this stuff. But, you send the nibbles? The nibbles are appreciated. Anyway, time to head off for tonight. It's pretty late. But I'll see you guys later. Mata ne!